There's a fascinating passage in the book of Revelation that many people have been curious about. It describes a vision of four horsemen, each riding a horse of a different color, who bring chaos to the earth, signaling the beginning of the apocalypse. What makes this vision even more intriguing is that everything about these horsemen, their outfits, the colors of their horses, and the weapons they carry, has its own deep symbolism. In this video, we'll explore the four horsemen and delve into the deeper meaning behind their appearance and actions. The first horseman rides a white horse, wearing a crown and holding a bow. Some have speculated that this rider might be Jesus Christ, as he appears as a conqueror. But is that really the case? We'll examine the evidence to see if this interpretation holds true. The second horseman appears on a fiery red horse. He's given a large sword and the power to take peace from the earth, causing people to turn on each other in violent conflict. The devastation that follows in his wake is unimaginable. Next comes the third horseman, riding a black horse, carrying a pair of scales in his hand. These scales symbolize a time of great scarcity, where food becomes so expensive that a full day's wage barely buys enough to survive. What does this mean for those living through such times? Finally, we meet the fourth horseman, who is unique because he's the only one explicitly named in the Bible. He rides a pale horse, and his name is Death. Following close behind him is Hades, or the grave. Together they bring widespread destruction, claiming the lives of a quarter of the Earth's population through war, famine, plague, and wild beasts. But before we dive deeper into the role and meaning of these horsemen, it's essential to understand how they came into being. Their story begins with a scroll and a lamb, as recorded in the book of Revelation. This scroll is no ordinary document. It's sealed with 7 seals, each representing a significant event. The breaking of these seals sets the stage for the appearance of the four horsemen. The book of Revelation was written by John the Beloved, one of Jesus' closest disciples, while he was in exile on the island of Patmos. He was sent there by the Roman authorities because of his influential role in the early Christian church. But what the Romans intended for harm, God used for a profound purpose. During his exile, John received a series of visions from God, which he recorded in what we now know as the book of Revelation. These visions were meant to reveal what would happen in the future, to prepare believers for the end times, and to ensure that they are not deceived by false teachings. The vision of the scroll held by the one seated on the throne is central to understanding the horsemen. The scroll is sealed with 7 seals, and no one in heaven or on earth is found worthy to open it, except for the Lamb, who is Jesus Christ. He alone is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll, setting into motion the events that will lead to the end of the world as we know it. As the Lamb opens the first seal, the rider on the white horse emerges. While some might mistake this figure for Jesus, this rider is actually a false Messiah, a satanic figure who comes to deceive the world. He rides out with a bow, a symbol of military power, and is given a crown, signifying his authority. But his rule brings anything but peace. Instead, he sows the seeds of destruction that lead to the events described by the next 3 horsemen. When the second seal is opened, the fiery red horse and its rider appear. This horseman represents war and bloodshed. He has the power to take peace from the earth, causing nations to rise against each other in violent conflict. This is a time of great turmoil, where safety and security are nowhere to be found. The third seal is then broken, revealing the black horse and its rider. This horseman carries a pair of scales, symbolizing famine and economic hardship. The voice John hears declares that basic necessities like wheat and barley will become so scarce that they will cost an entire day's wages. Meanwhile, luxuries like oil and wine will still be available, suggesting a deepening divide between the rich and the poor. This famine is not just a natural disaster. It's a reflection of the chaos and imbalance that the world will experience during this time. Finally, the fourth seal is opened and the pale horse emerges, ridden by Death. Hades follows close behind, and together they bring about a massive wave of death and destruction. They are given power over a fourth of the Earth's population, and they use it to kill through war, famine, plague, and wild animals. The pale color of the horse is a sickly, yellowish green, symbolizing the color of decay and death. These 4 horsemen are only the beginning of the tribulation, a period of intense suffering and judgment that will come upon the earth. But even in the midst of this, we see God's justice and his unrelenting love. The tribulation period is a time when those who have rejected Christ still have a chance to recognize their mistake and turn to him. It's a final opportunity for redemption before even greater judgments are unleashed. For believers, the message is clear. We must remain vigilant, watchful, and faithful. The Bible warns us that these events will come, and our task is to be ready. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Thessalonians, urged Christians to live as children of the light, always prepared for the return of Christ. This means staying spiritually awake and alert, not letting the events of the world distract us from our faith. In these last days, our focus should be on living soberly and righteously, fulfilling the mission God has given us. We must bear fruit in our lives, sharing the truth of the gospel with others, and living in a way that honors God. If you found value in this video, please like it and share your thoughts in the comments below. There's more amazing content coming, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Meanwhile, you can click on any of the videos on the screen to learn more about the deep truths of Scripture. Thank you for watching, and may the Lord bless and guide your day.